Welcome to the Classy Career Girl podcast. I'm your host, Anna Runyon, founder and CEO of Classy Career Girl, one of Forbes' most influential career sites. This is a podcast for a community of women who want to turn their passions into work they love. You'll learn how to become happy, successful, and balanced with class, skill, and style. We believe that you can create your future. So stop delaying your great life. Go put yourself out there. You can have your great life and career right now. Hey there, welcome to the Classy Career Girl podcast. We are continuing our series with part 3 of time management habits of highly effective women. And I'm excited to talk about categories of time management. This is a crucial step in decreasing your overwhelm, feeling more organized, and feeling more productive. But first, a couple behind the scenes updates. I am recording this from London. We just got here about a week ago. We just also spent a week in Rome. That was kind of our first place for this year abroad in Europe. If you haven't heard, we're spending a year homeschooling and working and exploring and learning foreign languages. And it's super fun. So Rome was the perfect place to regroup, get some sleep, kind of recover from the packing up of our place back in Wisconsin and putting everything in storage. And there was a lot of chaos getting everything ready to go. And so Rome was a perfect just kind of down week. It was very hot there. It was in July, so very hot. So we weren't able to be outside as much as we would have liked, but that's okay because it forced us to really stay inside, to rest and not try to do everything. One of the things we want to make sure we don't do is try and overwhelm ourselves. We have 3 kids with trying to see all the sites. So it was a really great week too. We went out early in the morning, we came back and rested and had lunch. Really great start to this adventure we're on. And now we're in London. And one of the things I'm realizing is these time habits that I'm teaching you and these strategies I'm teaching you, I'm using myself right now, especially when there's a lot of change and you need to create new routines. You kind of need to regroup, go back to the basics. And so every single one of these episodes is so crucial. So hopefully you can listen to it and kind of give yourself that fresh start. If there's been a lot of change for you this summer as well, I totally get it. It's really nice to have this solid foundation of these time management habits so you can pick them up again when things get crazy. So I can't recommend following these strategies enough. This is really going to help you throughout this series, these time management habits series. Another announcement, we just opened the waitlist for our fall cohort of the Classy Career Girl Career Coach certification. So this is a 6-month program for those of you who want to create a career you love where you get to impact others and work from home, set your own schedule, and live the life you want by becoming a certified career coach with Classy Career Girl International. And we help you build a thriving and profitable career coaching business by the time that you graduate. So make sure you add your name to the waitlist so I can send you more information about the certification program when we open. If this is at all interesting to you, we can get on a call. We can discuss the certification more to see if it's a good fit for you. So the waitlist for that is www.classycareergirl.com/certification. I do have to say though, starting a career coaching business, it's 12 years ago. It was the best decision of my life. I've been doing a lot of journaling, a lot of looking back as my life has changed over these last couple of weeks, and we're on this journey. And as I look back on those very first clients, how far my business has taken me, how far becoming a career coach has taken me, it's truly one of the best careers you can have, especially as a mom as well. With 3 kids, I love having this career coaching business. Becoming a career coach is so marketable right now with the specializations that we offer when you can really niche down your career coaching. So the 4 specializations that we offer are business coaching, job search coaching, productivity coaching, and leadership coaching. And these are all the specializations that I have used to grow my business. And so basically I teach you everything I know. You can use all of my systems and processes and tools. All of these specializations are so needed right now in all industries and as well in any economy. So I am now international as well with this year of traveling abroad. I truly want my work to be international too. I want to empower women around the world. So make sure you add your name to the waitlist so I can send you more information. I can only be a career coach to like a few people right now. And so this is my way of helping other people, other women become career coaches as well and learn everything that I've learned. So I also will be doing a free webinar in September on how to become a career coach. So you can also stay tuned for that. I'm sure I'll make an announcement on the podcast for that as well. So let's get back to productivity. We are in part 3 of our time management habits. And today we are focusing on categorizing your time. So this is a habit that highly effective women do. They categorize their time. This might sound super boring, so let's dive into this because this is crucial. This is very important. So highly effective women prioritize their time by categorizing their time. They have categories for their most important times. So for example, family time is a category for me, and I make sure I have blocked off in my calendar when the kids were in school, when I would pick them up. Right now we're homeschooling, so I have blocked off in my calendar the times that I am homeschooling in my day. When we're doing activities, when we're going to be doing a musical when we're here, and that's blocked off. My mother-in-law is coming to visit us, and so we have some events when she's here and some dinners when she's here, and that's blocked off. I have blocked off when I do bedtime. I cannot manage work and do bedtime with 3 kids. It just doesn't work. So that's an example of an important category for me and how I have blocked off that time on my calendar. When I was working my day job, I did this exercise, and it really allows you to create your ideal work when you categorize the categories that I'm about to tell you. So what I would recommend, take out like a Google sheet or an Excel sheet and write down all of the things that go into the categories that I'm going to tell you, and then put those blocks into your calendar. And like I said, this is what I did when I was still working my day job and I was growing my business on the side. So I could see that I had focused time spent for my business, and I had that blocked out in my calendar. So before I dive into the 3 categories I want you to use, I want you to remember that the reason we're doing that is so that we can focus on what's going to help you get the best results. So for example, if you are building a business, we want to make sure that one of your categories is going to be on sales, that's going to be the thing that is going to help you grow the business when you're focusing on sales. And so when we block out that time for the thing that's going to help you get the best results, that's going to help you see where you need to focus. And usually those are the things that get like pushed to the side. So for example, if you're building a business, you might get overwhelmed with social media and all the admin of your accounting and the paperwork, and your email is a mile long and you haven't responded to emails. You get overwhelmed with the other things, and it kind of pushes out the things that are going to actually make you money in your business. So that's why our first category is focus time. So I'm going to tell you the 3 categories. It's focus time, admin time, and sacred time. So the first category of focus time, this is going to be what's going to help you reach your goals. So a lot of you do my planning workshops. We do our annual plans together. If you're in my class membership, we do our 90-day plans together. Categorizing your focus time is going to help you reach your goals. Those are going to be those tasks and activities that are going to help you reach those 3 goals per year, or those 3 goals every 90-day period. And that's going to be, maybe you have financial goals, maybe you have health and wellness goals, maybe you have business goals. These are you want focus time blocked in your calendar for those things that are going to help you get the best results. Like I said, if you're building a business, it could be sales calls. It could be webinars if you're making sales through webinars. It could be working on a sales page if you're selling through just an online page. It could be emails that you're going to write. It could be promotions that you're going to be doing. Anytime you do any sort of planning, like your 90-day plan or your monthly plan or your annual plan, this is focus time. This is that high level thinking and strategy that usually gets pushed to the side. So for me, I've been doing a lot of like 3-year planning, like creating my org chart for 3 years, thinking about the future of my brand, thinking about, the future of my business and where I want to be in 3 to 5 years personally as well, with my family. So one of the things I think of is like I have an 18-month-old, and I think about where our family is going to be by the time she gets into kindergarten, right? By the time she's like 5 years old, where are we going to be? What is our life going to look like? What are the ages of all my kids? Because I have some spread out kids. I'm going to have a kid in like elementary and middle and high school eventually. It's going to be crazy. So, but those are that helps me see the vision and the future personally, because that's my why, right? That's why I do what I do. So it helps me see what I need to focus on in my career and my personal life so that I know that it's going to help me achieve my vision. So having that focus time blocked out, like I said, these are the things as a business owner, I know these are the things that usually get pushed to the side. If you're job searching, these are the things that are going to be like networking, or if you want to change careers, it could be informational interviews. It could be networking on LinkedIn. It could be researching and learning more about a certain career field that you want to go into. Reading books, podcasts, that goes into focus time because it's going to help you achieve your goals. So focus time is super important. The second one is admin time. Admin time are those sneaky things that sneak up on you and try and take you away from your focus time. So for me, that's social media. It could be emails. It could be cleaning my house and laundry. It could be the things we have to get done. Like we have to go to the dentist. We have to write our newsletters in our business. We have to record these podcasts. I have to edit blog posts and edit podcasts and videos, and this is all admin stuff. It's all stuff that I have to do in order for my business to succeed, but it's not things that are going to actually help me grow my business. It's not the thing that's going to make a sale. So what's going to make a sale? That's going to be getting on a sales conversation, or it's going to be doing a webinar or working on a promotion or a sales page that I'm working on. Those are the things that are going to actually bring revenue into my bank account. Posting on social media, it's really important for brand awareness. It's a really important thing that I need to do, just like going to the dentist, but it's not going to be an automatic exchange of income into my business. And so that's why it's admin. That's why we need to set a timer. We need to have a short amount of time. So for me, I'm like, let's set a timer for an hour and try and schedule my social media for the week. That's like my challenge on Mondays. Checking email, it's the same thing. My emails are piling up in my inbox right now, and when I get done with this, I'm going to set a timer for 15 minutes and I'm going to try and get to inbox 0 and knock them all out. Most of it's spam anyways, or just things. I don't think there's too many super important emails in there. It's just an admin thing that I need to get done. There probably are 1 or 2 really important emails in there that I need to respond to. So that's admin time. Set that timer. Don't let it run into your focus time, and have times in your calendar each week where you're going to focus on that admin time. And then we have our sacred time. Sacred time is so important. So this is what's going to help us show up for our careers and our goals and our businesses and our clients. This is what's going to help us have the energy for the focus time. So this is things like, for me, it's like my morning reading time. Sacred time is for our next year. I'm homeschooling my 4th grader and my kindergartner. And so that's my sacred time where I can't, be responding to social media messages and emails, right? Like I got to focus on my kids and making sure they learn what they need to learn. It could be nighttime reading. It could be, for me, it's bedtime, putting the kids to bed, having, reading time with them. It could be date nights. It could be family birthdays. Like when when someone in my family has a birthday, we make sure we set aside time for them. It could be events like my cousin had a baby and she just came back for the baptism. I was there no matter what, right? Like that's sacred for me. I'm going to block that time off in my calendar and I'm going to be there for my family. I'm going to go to the cabin on the 4th of July. That's my sacred time. Like, I don't care what's happening in the business. I'm going to block that time off for my family. I'm there. Christmas, holidays, weekends of no work. That's sacred time for me. Those are blocked off days that I'm planning to have days off. When I was picking up the girls from school, that was sacred time. So there was a certain time where I had to stop my calls for the day because I had to go pick up my girls from school. Same with like park days, or maybe there's you want to go to a museum or volunteer at your kid's school. This is all sacred time, as well as your health time. This was something I really realized as I was training for my half marathon back in May. This became so important to have a schedule for my workouts and my running, and that was my sacred time. And so I ended up having to wake up early many days, or to do a lot of running during nap times, because running was how I was going to train for my half marathon. If I didn't run, I was not going to be able to finish that half marathon. So it really became important, and it really became sacred to block off those hour and a half runs in my day. And like I said, sometimes like the long days, because if you've ever trained for a half marathon or a full marathon, some days you have really long runs. And so some of those days I was waking up at 4:30 a.m. just to get my runs in, because life would get crazy once the kids woke up, and it was hard for me to get out and go do those runs. And so that became sacred time in my calendar where I would block out. I would tell the world, I would tell, my husband what I was doing and communicate about how important those times were for me. It was sacred. So super important. If you also have not heard of the Pareto principle, I'm sure you have, but if you have not, that states that 20% of your input creates 80% of your results. And I always bring that up when I talk about categories, because it's really important. 20% of what you do in your business is going to lead to 80% of your results. So you don't have to do it all. We don't have to do everything. I am not doing everything in my business. I am not on every social media site. I'm not on every new social media site that pops up here and there. I am just focusing on the 20% that is going to get me the 80% of my results. So 20% of what you're going to do is going to lead to 80% of your results. So when you're doing your categories, think about that. Think about like, what is the most important thing that you can do to help you reach those goals, and block that into your categories, into your time in your calendar. You want to focus your calendar on what that 20% is. So if you are a business owner, you can go back and you can look like, where do my sales come from? Where are my successes coming from? When have I had the most fun in my business? Like, what is working? Let's do more of that. Let's do more of that. So looking back at where those sales have come from, we don't want to waste time on things that just aren't working. And if you've been a business owner over the last few years, there's been things that no longer work that used to work. And so we have to look back at that marketing strategy when it comes to figuring out what is that 20% that you can do to produce 80% of your results. And when I was starting out, the time that I would spend on like sales conversations and talking to the people on the phone, and still today, that is what produces 80% of my results. I blocked out as much time in my calendar for those sales conversations because that was the key that would help my business grow. So if you don't have a business yet, your revenue generating tasks might be learning, listening to podcasts, doing market research, creating your own educational program, learning as much as you can. That's how I became a career coach. I checked out every book from the library on becoming a career coach and resumes and interviews, and I just studied and learned as much as I can. So you can definitely create your own educational program in your calendar and in your focus time as well. So your homework is to make a list of all those activities in your life that fall into these 3 categories. So everything you do in your work, in your life, should fall into either a focus category, an admin category, or a sacred category. And if you make a list of all these and block this time out in your calendar, that's going to make part 4 coming next week so much easier for you. The other thing I would do is I would go grab our free 90-day planner at www.classycareergirl.com/free plan. That's another thing that you can do to help you kind of map out your 90-day plan, your goals for the future, where you want to go halfway through the year right now, a little over halfway now. This is a really good time to kind of look back at your goals for the year and figure out what you need to do in the final months of 2023 to help you reach your goals. So that was Categorize. Thanks for joining me, and I will see you next week.